Are you healthy now? Are you good?
Man, I'm always good. No, I just had to clean up my shoulder a little bit. Had to get it scoped. Had to get a shoulder scope, 6 weeks ago? So they got me in this sling, kind of trying to do it right, behave, listen to the rehab guys. So I'll be out of this thing soon enough.
We keep hearing a lot about J.K. Dobbins.
Can I swing a bat?
Yeah.
Not yet, but I'll get it.
Who's swinging the bat?
I got some interns and student managers. They're all doing it for me right now, but I'll be back.
Is that frustrating that you can't hit? I mean, that's your favorite thing, right?
Absolutely, it's my favorite thing in the world. Just to beat on him.
Right now?
Where is he right now? He's in the locker room.
I mean, how's he? 85, 90?
You know, I don't want to put a number on it. I don't know. I think he would probably tell you that, but he's coming along pretty well. He's progressing, and so it's good to have him back. And you know, we're monitoring and bringing him along, you know, at the rate we think we need to, and he feels good. So we're going to keep going with the process that we've been going. It's going pretty well. So he'll be ready.
Tony, would you feel good about?
You had to be limited, or you guys are still being careful with Mike by the time you guys are playing in 2 weeks?
Oh no, he'll be fine. Yeah, he'll be ready.
But who would be, you think, second in that decade?
Oh, J.K. Without question.
And what do you say? Yeah.
He is right.
What did he do to make that distinction? Because he had to jump over people to do that.
Well, you know, he's real. This guy loves football now, and he's smart. I would say that in my 22 years, and I say this, and that's not to take anything away from anyone else, but in my 22 years, this guy has picked it up faster than anybody I've ever been around. In my 22 years, I'm a true freshman. He's picked it up. He understands the offense, the nuances of it very, very quickly, and he plays hard. He goes so hard in everything he does, and which is part of the culture of this program.
So it's kind of hard sometimes to separate between what is nice things that coaches say about a player and who's actually going to contribute. Is it fair to assume that this guy is going to?
Oh, he's going to contribute.
Really
I'm not trying to be nice. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Call it as it is.
Tony,
he's going to contribute.
And what do you expect from J.K. this year? I mean, I know not a specific yardage amount, but what do you expect out of him as a true freshman?
Well, I expect him to be able to help us play winning football, and when his number's called, to be able to come in and produce. How often that number is, I can't sit here and I don't have a crystal ball to tell you how many reps it's going to be or not be. I don't know that, but his time will come, and when he's called upon, we expect him to produce and not have a drop off.
Is it at least a close battle to be the starter, or does Mike completely have that job?
Mike's our starter right now.
Can you compare how different it is this year, though, in terms of last year, especially after Bronte was dismissed? There was not a lot of competition last year. This year, there is. I mean, how different is it?
Well, I think there's competition because now guys understand what we're looking for. You remember now when we started this thing last year, no one in our room had ever taken a college snap. And now you've got some seasoned guys, I should say seasoned, they've played a little bit. Antonio's been around. Demario, who's in the room, out of the room, has been around, so he can provide viable reps. Obviously, Mike's played a lot of football now, and then you have a highly competitive and smart and explosive individual in J.K. who picks things up very quickly. So the competition's been ramped up, which has helped the room get better.
When we talked to J.K. after signing day, they had some of the new guys come out. He said, like, the weight room guys were calling him meatball.
Oh, did they?
So he's like saying, no, they're calling me meatball. He's joking around. But now you're saying this is an explosive guy.
Oh, extremely.
So I'm trying to draw the line between meatball and explosive.
Well, I've never called him meatball, so I don't know. You'd have to ask his teammates who called him that in the locker room. I didn't know that, but he makes a lot of plays, and he's a fast twitch guy. And he's got a second gear that we're looking for, and he's tough, you know. And that's the thing. He'll stick his nose in there and compete, and so now all the nicknames that may be coming out, I don't know all that, but no, he's a joy to coach.
Antonio and Demario progressed
as well. You know, Tonio's had a good camp. You know, he's had a good camp, and he seems much more comfortable, you know, in what we're asking him to do and blocking, and he's making plays, and his body weight, all those things are right, and he's gotten faster, and Trey Mobley's guys did a great job with him, and so he's had a really good camp too. So you got, again, that just keeps ramping. I think that you bring a young guy, J.K. coming in, that ramps up everybody, and when they see somebody else making plays, well, that better make mine too, and he has.
Is Demario? How does, when someone like J.K. comes in, did that affect Demario, maybe going back to some more H? You said he's in and out of your room.
I don't know. I would probably to some degree, because you have a little more comfort in allowing him to leave the room more and learn another place another position that would be good for him and for our football team. But at the same time, you feel like you have enough depth in the running back room that you're able to do that and cross train and play a little more.
Has he been? How do you characterize what Demario is right now? I know
very much like Curtis was when we first started this deal. Where he was kind of back and forth and can do both, and he's a hybrid type player, if you will, if that's the word we want to use.
Early on in his career, when we saw him last year in garbage time, he always seemed to do something explosive. What is it that you can expect from somebody like that, and what do you anticipate his role could be on a team like this?
I think the same, that when he's in the game, we're hoping to have a guy that can make some explosive plays for us. And, he's a year more mature and bigger, and he's obviously gained a lot of weight, which has helped him. And so yeah, you like to think when he gets in that he's going to provide again some playmaking ability for us.
You were talking about how fast J.K. Dobbins has developed. What areas in particular have you seen him develop?
Well, his knowledge of the game and where we're going. We're making a lot of checks. There's a lot of things that happen instantaneously. A call comes off the sideline, and a lot can change from the time you get it off the sideline to the time the ball snaps. And to be able to adjust on the run as he does, and he's been able to do that and pick up some of the nuances. And obviously, he's still learning. He's not done yet. But I would like to think that the hardest thing for incoming freshman running backs is pass protection. Not only to protect it, but where to go and where they fit in all the different protection schemes and understanding fronts and different blitzes and things like that. And he's done a nice job.
And are you talking about just the progression between spring practice and fall?
Yes.
Or are you talking about like just daily?
Well, it's been a great progression from spring to fall, but then you can watch him daily progress. I mean, it's daily. You can see him he figures it out, and you say something to him, and he'll sit there and just kind of look at you, and it's churning in his mind. Okay, here's what you're saying. He asks lots of questions, and they're great questions. And he wants to learn, and that's the thing. He's hungry to learn, and can't ask for any more than that.
How would you describe his running?
Is that something you see from a lot of freshmen, or is that sort of an unusual thing?
Well, I don't want to characterize and put anybody in a bucket that way to say that there's other guys that don't do it, because there are. But right now in my room, and he's been great. He's picked things up exceptionally fast. And I'm sure that Larry Johnson can tell you the same thing about Chase Young. So it just depends on what those traits are that you're trying to get.
How would you describe his running style, JK's? Is he? I mean, just between the tackles, home run hitter, just.
I mean, he can make guys miss, and again, he's done a really good job. There are a lot of young players coming in, they want to run laterally and run away from everything. And where he'll get out in open field and he'll front up a safety and he'll run right down his nose to get a safety to stop his feet, and then make a move to cut off of him and make guys miss at the second and the third level. And and that's unique for a young guy coming in to do that, and to do it that fast, and to understand why you do it, and then to actually go do it is one thing. So he's done a real good job of that.
So you sound like you are describing someone who is going to play.
I would say so. Yeah.
So there have been backs here sometimes who could be 25 carry a game backs. Last year you guys had Mike and Curtis that you used both of them well. For instance, if you have 25 carries a game to give to the tailback.
You're going to ask me, I don't have a crystal ball.
But you have an idea in your head. Are you more likely Mike is the starter, Mike gets those carries, or do you think this team could be better if Mike gets a lot, but JK also has a planned role?
And again, I think as we progress into that, I think a lot of that is how's Mike doing, and how's he feeling when he's playing, and all of a sudden, how's the flow of the game, and what are we looking for? And then all of a sudden, JK gets in there. Let's say he pops off a couple good runs, and now he's doing some things well. So to say how you're going to split the carries right now today, we're still 13, 12, how many days out we are, but I'm not comfortable saying what those numbers are. I'm just not. I can appreciate what you're asking, but I'm not comfortable in saying, oh, here's exactly what it's going to be, because at the same time, if I say here's what it's going to be and it doesn't happen that way, now I'm officially called a liar.
Tony, in general,
you lose the trust your players on.
When did Mike first hurt his hamstring? Was that something that was lingering from the summer? Or did it happen the first day?
That was something kind of
summer conditioning type thing.
Yeah, but it's not bad.
I was going to say, just to reiterate, you're confident he will be the starter for the Indiana game? Okay, thank you.
Would Demario be going back and forth if you weren't getting such good production out of J.K. and Antonio?
Probably so.
Coach, I'm sorry if you've asked this already, but what led to him being moved into the receiver room? Is it just because you have so much depth in your position?
Well, one, I think a lot of that had to do with just his skill traits and his skill sets that he can do that led to that. And like I said, I think the production of the other guys certainly led itself to him being able to make the move.
You guys have a scrimmage tomorrow, Coach Byer mentioned, important. What do you look for? What do you want to see in that scrimmage? That'll make
it's consistency and just playing as hard as you can all the time, every single snap. Not to turn around and make excuses and your palms up or what about this, just play hard and understand what we're trying to do and, being smart about how we do things. We're not out to, taking shots at guys. We're not going to cut block Sam, Hubbard, and, not doing that. But at the same time, doing what you're asked to do and doing your job.
We know Mike, as a redshirt freshman, to have a 1,000-yard season. That's a very good year for any young guy. The context of what he was last year and what he might be this year, what you think he can be, what he's shown, how much
more
better?
Mature play. And when I say that, he's understanding the bigger picture versus just what I do, or I should say what he does. You ask him before, hey, you run this route, versus, man, what do you do? He'd say, well, I would do this, but he didn't understand the why. And maybe there's a certain cut coming in behind it that you got to drag a linebacker out of a window, or exactly where, what the calls are for the offensive line to make certain pass protections and certain checks, and where he understands what the check, now he understands what the check's going to be before it's made. And I don't know if he knew that last year, and being young and just trying to get him to do understand what he had to do. And he's understanding the big picture now, and he's obviously his body's gotten faster, and just his maturity level, how he handles his day-to-day business as far as in the meeting rooms and helping JK out, and even helping Antonio, who's not really played. And so he has the ability to sit back and watch, and then when they come off to the side and say, hey, here's about this, what about that? And in the meeting room, he's great. He asks lots of questions. He'll start asking questions about stuff that he knows the answer, but he's bringing it out and trying to get other guys to understand some things. So Mike's really grown up a bunch, and he's been great.
If you guys, and we've all been asking a lot of questions about the deep ball and throwing it better this year, if this offense is more effective throwing it deep, throwing it at all, what will that do for the run game in this offense?
I think what it does, it makes people respect that and back off now. It makes them back up, makes safeties back off, and makes them back up. And they're backing up off you. That lends itself to some more space to run the ball and not loading the boxes up as much. So it all goes hand in hand. It all goes hand in hand. And doing the best we can do.
Tony, I want to go back to what Doug asked you earlier about the carries. I know you don't have a crystal ball. And you don't know what's going to happen. I just wonder, if, in general, what your philosophy has been. Do you prefer having one workhorse, or do you like having a committee? I'm not going to hold you to the answer permanently, but I just wonder if
you're not.
I'm not.
Okay, now
I'm just wondering.
So if I say this wrong and someone gets pissed,
I'm just asking if you have a preference.
Yeah, we'll protect you. We got your back on this.
That's right. Because I know that you don't know what's going to happen. I'm just in your past, if you've preferred one.
Well, in the past I've done it both ways. Years and years and years ago, when I was at Iowa State, they had one workhorse, and I went to Notre Dame, was my committee. When I came here, at first it was Zeke, and it was workhorse. Last year it was more by committee, and so I really can't tell you. Here's what I prefer. I prefer whatever works for our football team to be able to have success, and if that means that it takes 2 guys, 3 guys, whatever, or if it takes 1, I'm good. I do think that having 1 guy that's a special person to be able to do that, because of this, the beating that you take, the pounding that you take week in and week out, and to go an entire season with 1 guy is very unique. But that also goes back to the training and the conditioning, and our not just our strength and conditioning staff, but our athletic trainers and doctors, keeping guys healthy, and the hydration and all the things that go on outside of just the field. And so, we'll see how it goes.
I was curious.